So the immigration officer says, whoa, hold on. You're not regular immigrants. I'm not sure you're in the right line here. You're professionals. You need professional documentation. You've got to go through another process. So my dad says, what did you understand? We had 600 sheep. When they got home, the cancelliere opened the gate and I counted them. So then, after that, he had to get a job. So he tried to get an accounting job. I myself, I'm a CPA. It took me 2 terms to get my CPA. Usually it takes 4 terms, but it took me 2 terms. 2 Mulroney terms. So my dad, and it's a true story, and my dad couldn't get the job at all, so he had to go work, manual work. So you know how mothers are. So they take care. And it is Mother's Day. Yesterday was Mother's Day. An applause for all our moms. Let's give them a hand. Maybe we should give a standing ovation, but I don't want to cut this too short, you know. But we'll do it at the end. At the end, as you give me a standing ovation, we'll give all our moms a standing ovation. But so he goes manual labor. So he starts working, and all his friends bring lunches, and the moms prepare the lunches, right? I mean, moms, they're immigrants. Moms, there's no better word in the syllable than mom. What better in every language, right? Prepare the lunches, take care of their kids. So my dad had 3 colleagues, and their moms prepared their lunches every day. So the first colleague A, opens his lunchbox on a Friday. He says, it's incredible. He says, I have the same lunch every day. He says, I'm tired, I can't take this anymore. It's stressing me out, the anxiety, it's just too much. If Monday I have the same lunch, I'm jumping off the plank. So colleague B says, funny, we're friends, our moms are friends, and they know we like the lunches, and you never say anything against your mom, right? You can say something against your boss, you can argue with your wife, your kids, but not with your mom. So colleague B says, our moms must, same lunch every day, me too. If Monday comes around and it's the same lunch, I'm joining you, I'm jumping. So colleague C says, opens his lunchbox, he says, it's funny, He says, I have the same lunch too, we'll see Monday. If it's the same lunch, I might join you guys. So Monday comes around, colleague A opens his lunchbox. Guess what? Same lunch. My dad is trying to convince him, don't do it. Jumps off the plank. Colleague B, what happens? Same lunch. Don't do it. Jumps off the plank. Thank God he wasn't a lawyer. He couldn't convince them to stay behind. They're both jumping. Colleague C opens his lunch. He says, same lunch, me too. I'm jumping. He jumps too. So anyway, they signed. They were really close. They signed in their will that they wanted to be buried in the same cemetery, have the same service. They were really close. So my dad goes to the service. He feels bad. He really feels bad. He says, this is terrifying. I mean, a new country, colleagues, I lose my best friends within a few months. Okay, they were eating the same thing for 2 months, but yet I lose my best friends in 2 months. So the mom of colleague A is really crying. She's going nuts. She's crying. My dad goes, she goes, if I knew, I would have changed the menu. I would have changed the lunch. He had to tell me. So colleague B, the same thing. If I knew, we should have spoken to each other. I would have changed the menu, the lunch. Colleague C, but the lady crying the most was the mom of colleague C. The mom and the wife were going nuts. So my dad, he leaves the other 2 ladies alone and goes to colleague C's mom and says, don't feel guilty. Please don't feel guilty. How are we supposed to know? She goes, I don't understand. He made his own lunch. So then what happens? He says, enough of this. We're going to start a contracting company. A lot of construction in Montreal. It's never changed, right? There was always the orange cones and potholes everywhere, and lots of work for construction workers. So he said, we're going to start a construction company. So the city of Montreal wants to build a tunnel, a speed tunnel, for, back then, from PVM, what's on my business card, Place Marie, to the train station. So they get many bids. My dad bids. He gets called in by the mayor. Imagine. Here he is. He's never met a professional. I'm very proud of my dad. But he's never met a professional. Here he is. He gets called in by the mayor. So the mayor says, we have 22 bids here. We have bids at 75 million, 72 million, 73 million. I think the lowest out of the 22 bids that we have, the lowest besides yours, is like 68 million. He says, how do you bid 5 million? So my dad says, listen. He says, I'm here with my kumbaya. You know kumbaya. Kumbaya is something like important. It's a best friend. It's a kumbaya. In Italian, a kumbaya means something. I'm here with my kumbaya. Just me and my kumbaya. We're going to rent some equipment. How much could that cost? We're going to hire some workers. How much could that cost? He starts digging at the train station. I start digging at Place Marine. When we meet, we have the tunnel. So the mayor says, hold on a second. Where's your engineer, your architect, your plans? And what happens if you don't meet? He says, Mom, he says, you guys, you're already complaining. We didn't even start yet. He says, if we don't meet, you get 2 tunnels for the price of 1. Anyway, I wanted to wish you all a good night, and thank you for helping such a great cause. It's been a pleasure for me. I was this morning talking economics and trade tensions, and this is a lot more fun. Maybe I'll do a lot more TV and comedy. I'm going to speak to Joey, but thanks to Joey, thanks to everybody, and let's give everybody an applause and our